Good evening, Lakeside. Pastor Trevor said, I'm Teddy Riley. This is my wife, Annette, and I don't know what the accent thing was from. We talk right. Y'all talk funny. But we moved up here in July of 2023 from South Mississippi, a little town called Goshen. I was a firefighter at a Chevron oil refinery down there for the last 30 years and was just in a place where it wasn't fun to be anymore. I loved the job, but didn't love where I was at. So I guess a couple of years ago, started praying real hard about if that's where I needed to be, then that's where I would stay. And, you know, if it wasn't for God to open the door and show me the way, and if I remember right, like December of 22, I started putting in for a couple of jobs coming open for emergency management, and I put in for them, and I was told to reach out to the hiring managers and talk to them, and one of them was in Salt Lake City, one of them was in Ames, Iowa. When I reached out to the Salt Lake City manager, he told me bringing somebody from the outside in there would be like putting you in a hornet's nest. I said, sir, you can scratch me off the list. I don't want any part of that. So when I talked to the hiring manager from Ames, Chevron had bought Renewable Energy Group based in Ames, and they have 9 facilities throughout the world. And he's like, Teddy, this is a brand new job. Nobody's had it before you. You got all the qualifications. If you want it, you know, you'd be a good fit. Well, several weeks later, I'm sitting at work one morning, and I told Annette, you know, I put in for both jobs, and it was on a Wednesday morning. My boss called me. She said, you've been accepted for the job in Ames. Do you accept? I said, yep. Didn't hesitate, not one bit. So I called Annette, and I said, baby, we're moving to Ames, Iowa. She said, where's Iowa? I said, I don't know, but you better start Googling it. We've been married 31 years, and we've never been to the Midwest. I mean, both of us born and raised in Mississippi, and all of our vacations was to the Caribbean or somewhere else, not nowhere in the Midwest. But just to tell you how the goodness of God is and how He works, the way the relocation program works is you have 30 days to buy a house, sell a house, and move your stuff, and they pay for it. But making all of that stuff happen and being 1,000 miles from one place to the other, we took 4 days off. We made a trip to Iowa. We found a house, found a realtor up here that I talked to. We picked out like 14 houses. When we got up here, 4 of them had already sold just in a couple of weeks. So we looked at houses a day and a half. Polk City was the last house we looked at the second day, and it's the house we bought. So I told the realtor, I said, I'm gonna make an offer on this house, and he's like, okay. So we called him, we give him the offer. A couple hours later, he called and said they accepted. I said, okay. So in a day and a half, we found our house and made an offer, and they accepted. We couldn't put our house on the market until 30 days before my hire date up here. We got with a realtor down there, and she told us, she said, we'll sell your house pretty quick. I didn't really believe that because the market wasn't booming where we were at. We lived on the water, high insurance, high taxes, and all that stuff. Anyway, our house sold in a day and a half on the coast for sticker price. No exceptions, no nothing. So in a day and a half, we bought a house. A day and a half, we sold a house and moved up here. And actually, Mr. Fred Erickson right there, he's the second person I met in Polk City. He helped move us in. And it's just been one door after another since then. We visited a couple of churches in the area. We come to Lakeside, and it's been a blessing ever since. And I'm going to let her tell you about that part of it.
Well, good evening. What Teddy forgot to mention is I had just retired in April before this happened. I had big plans, big trips, gonna maybe take off the summer and do a part-time job, and then I had no excuse. I'm like, okay, we're going to Iowa. So I'm one of the people that retire and move north. I don't know if that's very common, but that's what happened. But as Teddy mentioned, we had been looking around because we're Southern Baptists, and we start looking around. Don't think there's Southern Baptist churches up here. I'm not really sure. So we did the live nativity scene. We came through here, and I'm like, well, that's really neat. And we came another time, and I think the first person that we met was Joel at the front there. And we came in, and again, we don't know anyone. He actually, he had people that he worked with and his boss, but I'm in Polk City, he's in Ames. I didn't know anybody except a couple of neighbors by that time, but we met Joel, and I don't think Patricia's here, but Patricia Moody, she as soon as I left that first service, she's like, I need to get your number. And, so she checked on me daily for weeks. And we started coming to church. And we started Starting Point, which I didn't know what that was. I'm like, you want us? I think Joel said, we're going to see if we like you and you like us. I'm like, what? Baptist church? If you want to come in, you're in. That's it. So I'm like, I don't know about this, Teddy. I don't know. These Midwest people, they want to, vet you and stuff. So we started Starting Point, the best thing we ever did. We've met so many friends out of that group. I see several of them out here tonight. One of my neighbors, Tammy, we didn't even know we were neighbors till after Starting Point, but so that was always fun. But lots of good people, and I'm just going to say it. Joel said we were his favorite Starting Point group ever. No, he did say that, but if you know Joel, I'm sure every group is his favorite. So, but we moved on from Starting Point, and we became members, and now we're in Andy Johnson's growth group. And we meet at Maria's house, so that's always fun. So it's good. We're getting to meet new people. Another thing, about the time we decided to leave, our son had came back from college and lived with us for a few years, and he decided he's moving to Nashville in June. We move in July. Our daughter was in Houston. All of a sudden, she moves even further away to Arizona. But through many prayers, she has recently moved to Iowa, and she lives in Ankeny. So that's another blessing that she missed us so much, and she decided to follow us out here to Iowa. So I just want to say, from someone that didn't know a soul, didn't know where I was, Lakeside has been very welcoming, and we love meeting. We meet new people every week, and we're venturing out doing this. We're ushering. We did Bible school. I haven't held a baby in 20 years, and they put me in the nursery, so that was fun. So, but again, it's Lakeside, and its members have definitely been a blessing to us. So thank y'all.
Thank y'all.